The basic pattern of the current of civilization in the Sibang plates were established with the emergence and flourishing of the hieratic civilization from its 7 geometric pulse points, reaching its peak at the completion of the hieratic octave, somewhere around 2000 PA. The imperial world of the late hieratic phase began to give way to the emergence of a new psychocultural phase, the cosmopolitan medieval. The post-erratic phase, characterized by the merging of civilization streams in the Afro-Eurasian landmass, is most distinctively characterized by the unprecedented rise of 3 spiritually reinvigorating forces: Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. Given the civilizationally transformative power of these 3 forces, the founder of these religions must be ranked among the most inspirational and influential figures in the human history. These figures, of course, are Lord Gautama Buddha, or Shakyamuni Buddha, 2500 PA, Jesus the Christ, 2000 PA, and Muhammad the Prophet, 1400 PA. These 3 religions are called cosmopolitan because they were not based on tribal or geocultural customs or ways, but appealed to the individual regardless of the culture or race. Hence, they are spread and function as a cosmopolitanizing medium for bringing together peoples and forces previously separated by geographical isolation and cultural idolatry or chauvinism. Graphic indications of the growth and spread of the 3 cosmopolitan religions is set within the context of the Sibang plates and 8 seasonal divisions. Here the 4 longitudinal plates are recorded geographically named Afro-Asia plate, 0 to 90 degrees. Pacific plate, 90 to 180 degrees. American plate, 180 to 270 degrees. Atlantic plate, 270 to 360 degrees. Within these, then, are the flow of the seasonal divisions in their northern and southern polarity pattern. What is of significance in contemplating this particular map is the observation that, for all its intents and purposes, the medieval psychocultural phase was basically a function or activity of northern spring division of the Afro-Eurasian plate. Hence, the designation, quote, medieval cosmopolitan complex from the Lindisfarne to Kyoto, end quote. While the civilizational pulse of the Afro-Eurasia plate had engendered the cosmopolitan forces of the medieval world, with Buddhism spreading into the Pacific plate and Christianity and Islam into the Atlantic plate, the civilizations of the American plate were experiencing their period of late hieratic synthesis and imperialism. By 450 PA, when the Europeans reached the late hieratic Mesoamerican and Andean zones, Medieval Christian civilization had already begun its rapid transformation into the modern global industrial phase. In fact, the swift conquest of the Mesoamerican and Andean civilizations were taken as proof of power and superiority of the new emerging world view. As a result, the American civilization went from a late hieratic to a twilight zone, neither medieval nor modern, known as colonialism. Similarly, in Africa, the youngest and the last of the hieratic pulsations, the Nigerian, had scarcely attained its pristine golden age when the self-transformative forces of the late medieval and early modern accelerated the psychocultural process. The period dominated by the Benin in West Africa, 450 to 150 PA, corresponded to the Aztec and Inca in Mesoamerica and the Andes, was the very last of the late second stage hieratic flowerings. When the Benin were brought down, Africa, like Central and South America, entered the twilight zone of colonialism. While the medieval phase has passed, the force engendered that phase has not. Thus, Christianity has enjoyed a late planetary expansion brought on by the rise of global industrial European imperialism. Buddhism, following the cathartic Hiroshima point, has begun to spread for the first time since its high medieval consolidation in Tibet, circa 700 PA. The fact that this high medieval Tibetan stronghold finally collapsed in the decade following Hiroshima, along with the Japanese technological expansionism, has been a major factor in the pan-Pacific spread of Buddhism in North America, as well as to Europe. Finally, in reaction to the enforced colonialism policies of Europe, Islam has been spreading anew, especially in Africa.